There's one page in this book right here that will help you figure out which of these GTS drivers is right for you. Looking at this fitting resource guide, it's a wildly beneficial tool for us club fitters because it gives us a lot of information about what is the ideal height, what is the ideal spin, what is the different lie angles and loft angles that we can make adjustments to, a bunch of information about the hybrids, about the irons, the different shafts that kind of go with them, what are the premium options. This right here though is the secret sauce. As you can see, center of gravity, flight, and trajectory. Where the weight is located in the head will have a huge influence on the trajectory of the ball flight. Now, one way Titleist is achieving this movement and center of gravity is by having what's called split mass technology. So they have the weight in the front here and the weight in the back, and then the center is going to be a lighter material, and that's going to have faster ball speed potential here, more stability here. One other way that you can see they're changing the center of gravity location is by the addition of this weight track here on the GTS 4. In GTS 2, they're adding the addition of the weight port up the front, so you can move that center of gravity more forward or more back depending on what you want the launch angle to be. One main reason they do that is so they can have the different head shapes that the people prefer, but are able to change the center of gravity location around. So that's the GTS 2. That's the GTS 3, that's the GTS 4. Now we can see Titleist actually released a couple different shaft options that are new for this year. We have the Tensei red, white, and blue in the 1K edition, and we also have the addition of the Project X Titan. Now it's so important to find a shaft that matches your swing and your profile. Ultimately, we're changing the launch and spin characteristics with the head mostly, but if you don't have a shaft that you can't swing comfortably, it doesn't matter if it's an aftermarket shaft or just a stock shaft, you won't be able to swing comfortably and have a fun round anyways. Of course, another huge highlight to the driver this year is that they're adding the speed sync face. Honestly, in my opinion, it does make the driver feel a little bit firmer, but we can talk about that down the road as well. Now for testing, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to go and try to swing at 80 miles an hour in a regular flex in all three of the heads at A1 setting at 9 degrees. And then I'm going to swing at about 105 with an extra stiff flex. Again, A1 setting, 9 degree on all the different heads. Also, we've got some Pro V1s that we're rocking with. I'm going to start with the GTS 2 9 degree with the 11 gram weight in the back, lighter gram in the front. Now I've got GTS 2 9 degree with the 11 gram up front and the 5 gram in the back. All right, now we have GTS 3 9 degree. It comes stock with an 8 gram in the front and 5 gram weight in the back. Now when we're just going over the regular flex speeds, you can see I was swinging right around 85-ish to 89. Now comparing the three different clubs, it's kind of cool to see. I got the heavyweight back, heavyweight forward, and the GTS 3. All three ball speeds pretty similar right there between 125 to 128. But here's where the story comes in. You have 15 degree launch angle with the weight in the back. And then when you move it forward, it actually performs very similar to what that GTS 3 was doing. Looking at the carry and launch with the slower club head speed, you can see because it had a little bit more spin and higher launch angle, it stayed in the air and carried a little bit further. They all rolled out to the same distance, but this definitely carried in the air a little bit further. So I see people assume all the time that a lower loft is always going to help it go further, but that's not always the case, because if you're just relying on all roll, then you're not really going to get distance anyways, especially in the morning with the dew. All right, GTS 2 9 degree, 11 gram in the back, Tensei white, extra stiff. GTS 2 9 degree, 11 gram in the front, 5 gram in the back. Back to GTS 3 9 degree, 8 gram weight in the front, 5 gram in the back, Tensei White X. All right, that shot right there on this GTS 3, it actually launched a little bit higher. That launched at 16 degrees, spun at 1600 revs. That thing just got up in the air and went forever. It went 323 yards, and I didn't swing that hard. For me, if I have a driver that's too low spin, then I kind of find myself coming up out of it and almost wanting to put a bad swing just to make that driver work. So I don't like having a super, super low spin. I need that thing to stay in the air a little bit longer without me doing something funky. Unfortunately for you guys, I will not be hitting the GTS 4. I can already feel how low spin the GTS 3 is, and I can feel myself trying to compensate and trying to hit up on it a little bit more to get that higher launch angle. Yeah, I can hit bombs with it, but I am not accurate with it whatsoever. So no GTS 4 for me. Looking at the ball speed differences, when we swung the regular flex, they were pretty similar between 125, 128, and with the extra stiff between 153 and 155. So pretty similar between all of them right there. You can see both at the faster club head speed and the slower club head speed, you can see the progression of where the center of gravity is located. With the weight back, you can see the highest spin. In the middle with the GTS 2 weight forward, then you have the middle spin, and then with the GTS 3 being even more forward, you have the lowest spin of the three in both of the club head speed potentials. So what is this actually saying to me as a club fitter? To me, the 9 degree is not providing enough spin for any of the combinations realistically. I do want more spin, so I need to try something with a little bit more loft on it. I think the combination for me is probably gonna be GTS 2 with the weight forward or the weight back. Weight forward maybe because that one was so accurate, but I'm gonna try both of those and see how that goes. Okay, so I'm so glad I did that test because look what just happened here. Now I've got my launch and spin where I actually want it to be. 16.9 and 2100, I mean, that's beautiful right there. The awesome thing to see is, yeah, I lost maybe a little bit of potential yardage, but look how tight that pink circle is right there compared to the green. So the weight back actually was the most accurate, gave me the correct spin, GTS 2, 10 degree. That's with the stock shaft right here. In a club fitting, if I'm seeing these parameters right here, ball speed, launch and spin, and a circle like a hula hoop, I'm saying let's wrap this thing up like a pretty little bow and send it on its way. I can just buy this driver right here. This is with the stock shaft, $699 GTS 2, and I'll be a very happy camper and play some really good golf with it. That being said, I do have access to high-end shafts. So I do have Fujikura, Acra, Graphite Designs. They are made with a little bit better materials, better resins. I wouldn't say that they just magically make the ball go further, but they do feel better. And if they do feel better in your hands, maybe you can swing a little bit more confidently. More confidently means more speed and ultimately more distance. I decided it's late anyway, so let's just try a couple of different shafts. I really like the Diamante Whiteboard 63X. It just feels really stable. I can really swing hard at it. Ball speed did go up, but I did deliver more loft to it. And with more loft, I got more spin, I got more launch. The carry actually did go up a little bit. But I did notice that with the weight back, I was spinning it too much now. So 2700 spin, I really needed that knocked down to 2400. Now I have 2400 with the weight forward and the Diamante. So now I have my carry go way up. Total is still right where I want it to be. And now it comes the digging even more to see if maybe I want to try GTS 3 in the 10 degree. Now I think I want that spin to come down just a touch and maybe that window to come down just a touch as well. So now I have the ability to try the different loft sleeve adjustments And I have the ability to try the different weights in different locations to see if I can get that spin to come down just a little bit more. I don't always swing at that speed, so I think it will come down to about 17 and 2300 at game speed, but now it's time to try it outside. Maybe try the GT3 S3 in the 10 degree as well. Maybe play around with the different adjustments on the weight and the hosel. So again, never-ending battle, and I'll probably try the Triple Diamond Max tomorrow as well, because I think that's a really good driver as well. So I've been doing this for a long time, and I still haven't really found the perfect driver combination that I'm just going to stick with for the rest of my life. So that being said, I wanted to try the Titleist lineup. Thanks for joining. Smash that like button. More comparisons in the future, and hopefully you enjoyed.